But bad news for Apollo, he's forced to pay up big time. Kendra's staying with Hank for the sake of the kids? I've got an opinion. And Lady Gaga, watch your back. The tell-all is gonna be written. Let's talk about it and more. It's time for Hot Topics. It's only one more day before the big birthday bash. Shaka Khan will be here. I've only met her one time before that I can recall in my life, and twice. Once on the red carpet, I interviewed her, but that wasn't long enough because I couldn't ask her like a lot of good questions, and she didn't sing. And then once, a couple of seasons ago, she walked out and surprised me. I didn't realize that she was here and said, hello, I'm not here to interview, I'll be back for that. So she's coming back, she's gonna do Ain't Nobody. Wait, no, she's gonna do I'm Every Woman, yeah, and Ain't Nobody. Yeah. And then she's also gonna sit on the couch so we can chat and get to know Miss Khan. In the meantime, also superstar DJ, and he did really well on Celebrity Apprentice too. Little John's gonna be our special guest DJ for the day. Yeah. And the show is gonna be full of surprises that I don't even know about. But I've been told full of surprises. So you don't want to miss tomorrow. In the meantime, remember we've been talking about Kendra Wilkinson and her husband Hank, who allegedly cheated on her with a transsexual named Ava. Messy. Well, now we've learned that Kendra is going to stand by her man for the sake of their 2 kids. Well, clap if you think that's a good idea. And everybody else thinks it's a terrible idea. Well, you know what? While I am judgmental, you know, I really adore Kendra. I'm so sorry that this has happened to her. You know, her trailer was right across from mine. I tell you, when we were on Dancing with the Stars, and you know, we forged a little something. So, you know, if it's right for her, then good for her. It wouldn't be me. I don't believe in staying in a marriage for the sake of the kids. And I don't care if the kid is just a little goober. But apparently, first of all, Hank Jr. is, I think, maybe 3 years old now. And their daughter was just born. Kendra is still healing. She had a couple of complications, allegedly. So she's healing. And, of course, her hormones are going crazy, which means her temper is crazy. To add to it, you know, the alleged cheatation is going on. The only good thing to come out of this is that she's made up with her mother. So her mom has been helping her around the house and stuff. And, yeah, because they were going at it, those two, very publicly, but they've made up. And I don't think that kids save marriages. I just don't. Not even brand new kids. I don't think kids save marriages. I feel like, you know, when a woman is upset, she does not have the ability to push happiness off onto her children. You know, you might be upset with your man, but you're using displaced aggression and yelling at your kids for no reason. You know, that whole bit. Plus, anger causes wrinkles and. But their house, this is what I would do if I was her. Their house is big enough for him to visit. Show the house. There's the house, okay? The house is big enough where Hank can come and see little Hank and bond with his daughter in the kitchen over a couple of tuna fish sandwiches on rye with Swiss cheese. And while they're doing that, Kendra can be in the master bedroom because she's already kicked him out. She needs to kick him out. All of his stuff, his toothbrush, his sneakers, you know, his sports memorabilia, all of it out. Get yourself an apartment across town, you know. But you will always, yeah. But he can have a garage door opener and a key to the front door, sure. And come over so that Hank Jr. is transitioned into this divorce thing easy, not hard, crushing. Yeah. And it wouldn't even be about, there's no house big enough for me to say, you sleep in the guest room. No, I don't want you in my house. But they're gonna stay together, and no word on whether they're gonna be sleeping in the same bed or not. No word on whether everyone's now, whether she's filing for divorce, but it's all gonna be played out disgustingly on reality TV. So my question is, if this is true, does Hank come out of the closet on reality TV, or does he talk more about, what he enjoys, what he enjoyed about that particular experience and why he did it? He only told her because Ava went to the Inquirer and passed a lie detector test. Yes. Allegedly, lawyer lady hit the button, allegedly popped up. Look. Originally, when Kendra heard about this, she heard, the streets were talking, and so she went to him and she asked, and he denied it. And that was like right after she had, the umbilical cord was still attached to the baby, practically. So he denied it. So then she goes on about her business, and then she hears about this lie detector test over at the Inquirer. That's when she flushed her ring down the toilet. She took their wedding scrapbook and threw it in the pool. And now, they were spotted recently out with Hank Jr. Recently, like in the last week, out with Hank Jr. And Kendra was not wearing her ring because it's in the toilet. And Hank was wearing his ring because he's probably in denial. But good luck to Hank and good luck to Kendra. So, are you wondering what this pile of paper is? Well, let me tell you something. This is Apollo Nida's court document, okay? A mess. Okay. I told you that today was the day. At 10 a.m., he was supposed to be going to court. So it's 5 after 10 right now. He was supposed to be going to court today to find out how much he had to pay back from the money he stole from those people. Yeah, he stole $2.3 million, I'll remind you. Now, he already has his 8 years in jail that he has to do, but the judge was gonna bring the gavel down today and tell him how much of that 2.3 that he has to pay back to those poor people. Well, I can tell you right now, it ain't pretty. $1,948,214.85. Where is he going to get the money to pay that back? Oh my gosh, these are some heavy papers. Look, they're so legit that the tab for the signature page is on it. Oh my God. Oh, Apollo, what have you gotten yourself into? Trouble. This is some summer reading for you, though. Anyway, Apollo has a long list of victims to pay back. I can't even go through the list, but just look. You see some JB Moore. You see BMW trying to floss while stealing. The state of Iowa, Wisconsin. Do I see Nebraska, Vermont? That's who he has to pay back. So. And the judge told him that he can start paying that money back as of right now. They are still filming the upcoming season of Atlanta Housewives. Reportedly, Apollo has said before that he doesn't get paid from the show, but you lied to the tune of $1.9 million. So why would we believe anything that falls out of your mouth? Now, of course you get paid from Atlanta Housewives. Of course you do. By the way, Apollo and Phaedra were seen together with the camera crew filming at a park in Atlanta recently. Which, listen, he's not going to jail in the name of, something terrible that he did to Phaedra. He's going to jail for his white-collar crime. So I'm not surprised that they're trying to spend as much time with the boys as possible, I don't believe that Phaedra will stay with him. I believe that she will divorce him because otherwise she's gonna have to pay some of that, that money too. It wouldn't be me. I'm gonna use my exit out. The great thing about living in the wonderful state of Georgia is that they've got this law. The law is you're allowed to get that automatic divorce if your man or woman is going to jail for more than 2 years. Yep. And I would definitely get that divorce. And as far as Apollo, there is no money that I can think of, or no way that I can think of that Apollo would be able to pay back that 1.9 unless he just committed another caper. You know what I mean? And then, somebody in our staff meeting this morning said, well, he can write a book. I said, nobody cares about anything in Apollo's book. You know what? He can write, he can write something on an index card and sell that at Barnes & Noble. And here's what I would like him to write. The answer to this question. Did Phaedra know all along? But you saved her so that somebody can stay out of jail to take care of the president and vice president. I've asked my co-host this before. Clap if you think Phaedra knew all along. Enough said, let's move on. So, I was out socializing last night, so I missed all TV, but Drake hosted last night's SP Awards. Did you watch? Well, people said that Drake did a really good job. He was funny and engaging, and he jumped off the stage and walked in the audience, and he worked the stage, walking back and forth, He did a sketch with his former Rihanna rival, Chris Brown. They poked fun at their their beef. So take a look at this.
All right, once the anesthesia kicks in, we will be removing the patient's appendix. But first, there's donuts in the kitchen, guys.
What? Oh my God, you're the surgeon?
Oh, I'm not the surgeon. He is.
Breezy.
I thought that was funny. I don't think a sketch like that will hurt his road to goodness when he has to see the judge. I thought that was, he's still wearing that hair. But I thought that was funny. The other man in there, if you don't follow sports, is Blake Griffin, and he plays hockey or something. He plays basketball. Anyway, so congratulations, Drake. You got rave reviews. Lady Gaga's ex-assistant, who's in her 40s, is writing a tell-all about Gaga. There she is, the assistant. Well, Suzanne said, oh. The bangs. It looks like she needs that tuna sandwich that Hank's gonna eat. She's got bones on her chest. Anyway, in 2011, the assistant sued Gaga for almost $400,000 in unpaid overtime. The assistant claimed that she was required to work 24 hours a day. She never had time, to make boyfriends or see her family or anything. Lady Gaga is a very needy woman, like a lot of celebrities are, who apparently has the inability, or she's unable to spend time with her own company. The assistant, one of her jobs was to sleep in the bed with Gaga. Not be her lover, allegedly. Allegedly. Not be her lover, but sleep in the bed with her. Can you imagine not wanting to spend time by yourself, that you actually have to have your assistant sleep in the bed with you? I don't know, Stephanie, Gaga. That is kind of weird. But I have to say something. I love a good tell-all book. However, time is short, and you have to choose your tell-all books very carefully. This is not a book that I care about reading. Honestly, wait. Clap if you care about reading it. Really? Well, see, my thought is that I think that Gaga's experiencing a dip right now where, I know her monsters care about her, but I don't think a lot of the rest of us really care about Gaga anymore. And I don't mean that in a bad way, because I've seen her interview. You remember when she did that interview with Perez Hilton, and then she went on Oprah and stuff? She seems like a lovely girl from New York who loves her parents. She bought them a restaurant. But once you come out in an egg and wearing a meat dress, ex-assistant, what more is there to write about? You can tell me. And you can tell me that Gaga likes to get high. You can tell me she likes to get high off gasoline or heroin. I don't care. She wears a meat dress, you know. You could tell me that Gaga likes to have not twosomes and threesomes, but tensomes. And I don't care, you know, because she comes in and like, look at the wig. Like, I'm not shocked. You can there's nothing about Gaga that you can tell me that would make me flinch. You know, and musically speaking, Gaga needs a good hit because right now it seems like, you know, in that vein of music, it's Katy Perry's world. It's Katy Perry and then of course Beyonce and Rihanna, but this girl Katy Perry, it's her world, and Gaga is about to expire if she doesn't come up with some good music. So I say to the assistant, you can write the book if you want, but they're not a whole lot of people that I think care about reading it. Yeah. Except the Monster Nation. She does have millions of fans, I guess. But then again, if the Monsters are loyal to Gaga, then they wouldn't put a dime in an enemy's pocket like the assistant. So, yeah. That's all. You know, I always have a magazine on me. You never know when you're gonna have to sit in the waiting room or stand on a long line and occupy yourself. So I read all the magazines for you. It's time for Wendy's Got You Covered. Hit it. Okay, so, soon-to-be mom, Mila Kunis, tells W Magazine, see, I think that she's a really cute girl. She's what I call an odd beauty, you know? Well, the guys on the crew were like, and then others were like, okay. I think she's an odd beauty. I think she's beautiful. Big eyes, natural nose. Yeah. Mila Kunis tells W Magazine that she's quitting acting to be a mom. I love that. I love that. If you had the luxury of quitting something to be a mom, you know, stay-at-home mom, would you? Listen, I wasn't born rich and I didn't marry rich, so I have to do something. I might as well sit here and talk to you. But I'll tell you, in my town, I'm friends with a lot of the stay-at-home moms, and they seem to have the life of Riley. That's a very, very nice life. You sit there and with your coffee, or wine at 10 o'clock in the morning. You watch the Wendy show, then it's July, so you go out to your pool, you invite your other stay-at-home mom friends over, then you go to Bloomingdale's, then you get your nails done, you pick up something, because none of them cook, by the way. Like none of my stay-at-home mom friends cook. They go and they pick up like something gourmet for dinner, and then the husband comes home and they eat as a family, and then they do the same thing the next day. You know, not for nothing, to me, you know, being a stay-at-home mom seems great, but only if you've had a little career so that you know how to do something. And then, yes, just something. That's why I work so hard. I'm working to be, one day, a stay-at-home mom. Okay, so anyway, so she says, this job has always been a hobby that turned into a great profession, but I don't eat and breathe acting. I'm excited about being a full-time mom. That's easy to say when you're Mrs. Kutcher, you know, who gets that money from acting, but he's also a tech giant. He's got so much money, it's ridiculous. So good for you, Mrs. Kutcher. And then, Sheryl Crow in one of the magazines thinks that what's her head blocking? Good housekeeping. Good housekeeping. That magazine's been around since forever, right? Sheryl Crow thinks it's a bad idea for celebrities to date each other, and here's what she says. Well, I've been saying this all along. I think it's a horrible idea. All right, hold on. Okay, look. I've always gone out with guys who are highly successful, which would seem like it would put me on an equal level. But what ends up happening is that one of you becomes smaller, and it was always me. I do think that sometimes in order for one person's light to shine, everyone else has to dim theirs. Here's my thought. I think that celebrities, take a celebrity girl, take Sheryl Crow. I think that she needs to be with the plumber, not the regular plumber, the guy who owns the Roto-Rooter. You know, something like that. Something like that. Honestly. You know, I'm not counting her coins, but I'm saying Sheryl does not need to get with a man for money. So she can even get with the electrician or the guy that owns the electrician. I get what she's saying. Listen, Sheryl Crow, she knows from experience. She's dated famous guys. Like, she used to date Eric Clapton. Now, you might know Eric Clapton when he walks into the restaurant. I know off the top of my head one Eric Clapton song, Lay Down Sally. But I don't, you know, Eric Clapton is a big deal. But if they walked in the restaurant, I wouldn't recognize Eric Clapton. I'd be like, oh my God, there's Sheryl Crow, don't look. You know? And then she used to date Lance Armstrong. Well, again, if they walked in the restaurant, I would not know Lance Armstrong. Like the visual. I wouldn't know Lance Armstrong. I'd be like, oh my God, Sheryl Crow's back. And she used to date Owen Wilson. Well now, on account of his oddness, I would be like, oh my gosh, there's Sheryl Crow, and she bought her boyfriend Owen, like I would recognize him. But I understand what she's saying. I love reading magazines and sharing with you. That's Wendy's Got You Covered. Do you want to see something that's going to make you laugh out loud? Yeah. Okay, today is Throwback Thursday, and I've got a 90s throwback that you've got to see. It's time for our hot shot of the day. Oh, yes, everyone. That is The Rock. You remember back in the 90s, the turtleneck, and I mean, he has the look going on. Big mom jeans, pulled all the way up. The only one who still wears jeans like that is our president. Prez hasn't been able to get his jeans game right the entire time he's been in the White House. Anyway, Rock put this out, and the hashtag was WTF, hashtag 90s Rock, hashtag buff lesbian.